Hello, my name is Mayanka. I am accounts and finance trainer from UPLETS. Today, we will cover and we will discuss the concept of appeal and revision. Appeal and revision. This is part 1 of such concept. This is part 1 of such concept. We will cover this topic in 4 parts. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4. In Part 1, from Part to Part 4, we will discuss such concept in detailed form so that we can understand such concept properly and we can understand all the provisions which are relating to such concept. So now we will start part 1 of appeal and revision. Appeal and revision. Appeal and revision under GST. Part 1. Introduction. First, we will understand what is the concept, means what is the appeal and what is the revision. What is the meaning of appeal and what is the meaning of revision under the GST. GST law makes provision for cross empowerment between the CGST and SGST and UTGST officers to ensure that a proper officer under the CGST Act is also treated as proper officer under the CGST Act and vice versa. Is that the GST law makes the provision? It makes the provision for the cross empowerment from the cross empowerment between the CGST and SGST and, or UTGST officer. Is that if there is any person who is the proper officer, who is the proper officer in CGST, then he is treated as he also treated as the proper officer under the SGST or UTGST. Or if there is any person who is the proper officer under UTGST or SGST, then he will be considered as proper officer in CGST Act. Is that there is the cross empowerment. There is the cross empowerment between the CGST and SGST oblique UTGST officer. Thus the proper officer under the GST, he can pass or he can issue an order with the respect to both. Is that if there is any person who is the proper officer in CGST, then he can make an order. He can make an order in the respect of CGST, means in the CGST law, as well as he can make an order in the SGST or UTGST law. Means if there is any person is a proper officer in CGST, then he can issue an order in CGST as well as UTGST or SGST or vice versa or vice versa. GST law also provides that where a proper officer under one act has passed an order, any revision, any review, any appeal, any rectification against the said order, then it will lie only with this proper officer to that act only. Is that GST law also explain that or it is also provides that where if there is any notice, there is any order, there is any appeal, revision, rectification which is filed by any officer, which is filed by any officer, proper officer against the said order, against any order, then it will be live. Then it will be live means such order, such application, such proceeding, such rectification will be live only with the such proper officer, only with the such proper officers of that act. of the that act is that if there is a appeal, there is a revision order or the rectification order is passed by the proper officer under the CGST Act, then it will be live. Then it will be live only with such a particular proper officer. It will be live only with such particular officer or under the CGST Act. It is not live in any other act or with any other proper officer. It will be live only with the such particular proper officer or in particular CGST Act, in particular act. If it is relating to SGST Act, that it will be live with only such proper officer and under the SGST Act only, not in CGST Act. Accordingly, if any order is passed by the proper officer under, say, Haryana CGST Act, if there is any order which is passed by the proper officer under Haryana Act, Haryana SGST Act, any appeal, any revision, any rectification against the said order will be lie. It is only lie with the proper officer under the Haryana SGST Act. Means if there is any rectification, there is any revision, there is any review appeal which is filed, which is made against the said order within the particular state, then it will be live. It will be live only with such particular proper officer under the such particular state, under such particular state. Means it will not be live with other proper officer or with other GST laws or GST Act. Hierarchy of appeal or revision. Now we will discuss hierarchy of appeal and revisions. Hierarchy of the appeal and revision. Chapter 18 of CGST Act. Chapter 18 of the CGST Act, Appeal and Revision. Chapter 18 of the CGST Act contain the provision of appeal and revision. Order passed by the adjudication authority. In this chapter, the order will be passed by the adjudication authority and the order will be passed by the officer subordinate to the revisional authority. Subordinate to the revisional authority. Is that in the chapter 18 of the CGST Act, the order will be passed by the adjudication authority. The order will be passed by the adjudication authority, or it will be, or in the chapter 18, the order will be passed by the officer subordinate to a revisional authority. The order passed by the adjudication authority, appellant tribunal. Adjudication authority, the order passed by an adjudication authority means appellant authority. And the order which is passed by the officer subordinate to the revisional authority, then it will be revisional authority. It is the revisional authority. Then both appellant authority and the revisional authority will fall in appellant tribunal. All these order which is passed by the adjudication authority or which is passed by the revisional authority will be covered in appellant tribunal. It will become in appellant tribunal. Then after order passed by the national bench. Then after in the appellant tribunal, the order will be passed by the national bench or the religious or the regional benches of the tribunal. Regional benches of the tribunal. Then after it may be go in High Court or Supreme Court. If the person is not satisfied with the order of appellant tribunal, then he may make an application in High Court, or if he is not satisfied with the decision of High Court, he may file an application to the Supreme Court. Means he may make an application in the High Court as well as in Supreme Court as per the requirement. So this is the hierarchy. This is the hierarchy of appeal and revision. Hierarchy of appeal and the revision. Now we will discuss some important and the relevant definitions which are relating to the appeal and revision. Is that before starting the proper discussion and before starting the provisions of the appeal and revision, it is important to understand some important and the relevant terms and the definitions so that you can properly understand the concept of appeal and revision, so that you can properly understand each and every provision relating to the appeal and revision. So now we will discuss some important and the relevant definitions which are relating to the which are relating to the such concept, which are relating to the appeal and revision concept. Number one, adjudication authority. What is the meaning of adjudication authority? Adjudicating authority. Adjudicating authority means any authority. Adjudicating authority means any authority which is appointed or authorized. Adjudicating authority means any authority which is appointed or authorized to pass any order or decision under this act. Adjudication authority means any authority which is appointed or which is authorized to pass any order on any decision under this act. Means such authority can pass any order or any decision under the GST Act. But it does not include but it does not include Central Board of Indirect Tax and Custom. But adjudication authority definition of adjudication authority does not include Central Board of Indirect Tax and Custom. Means CBIC will not be considered as adjudication authority. The revisional authority is not an adjudication authority. The authority for advance ruling is not an adjudication authority. The appellant authority for advance ruling, the appellant authority for the advance ruling is not the adjudication authority. The appellant authority is not an adjudication authority. The appellant tribunal, it is also not an adjudication authority, and authority which is referred to in subsection 2 of section 171. The authority which is referred in the authority which is referred in subsection 2 of section 171 will not be considered as adjudication authority. Is that the adjudication authority is any authority which is appointed or which is authorized to pass any of the order or to any of the decision under the GST Act. But it does not include number 1, Central Board of Indirect Tax and Custom. Number 2, revisional authority. The number 3, the authority for advance ruling. Number 4, appellant authority for the advance ruling. Number 5, appellant authority. Number 6, appellant tribunal. Number 7, the authority which are referred in subsection 2 of section 171. So this is the definition of advance authority. This is the definition of advance authority. Appellant authority. What is the meaning of appellant authority? What is the meaning and the definition of appellant authority? Appellant authority means the authority. Appellant authority means the authority which is appointed or which is authorized. Appellant authority means authority which is appointed or which is authorized to hear the appeal, which is appointed or which is authorized to hear the appeal as referred to in section 107. Appellant authority means an authority which is appointed or which is authorized to hear the appeals to hear the appeals as referred to in section 107, which is authorized to hear the appeal. Number third, appellant tribunal. What is the meaning of appellant tribunal? What is the meaning of appellant tribunal? Appellant tribunal means goods and service tax appellant tribunal, which is constituted under section 109. Appellant tribunal means GST appellant tribunal, goods and service tax appellant tribunal, which are constituted which are constituted under section 109, which are constituted under section 109. This is the definition of appellant tribunal, which is constituted under GST appellant tribunal under section 109 of CGST Act. Fourth, authorized representative. What is the meaning of authorized representative? Authorized representative means the representative as referred to in section 116. Authorized representative means the representative which are referred to in section 116, which are referred to in section 116. So these are the authorized representative. Number 5, board. What is the meaning of board? Under the GST, what is the meaning of board? Board means Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. Board means Central Board of Indirect Taxes and the Custom, which is constituted under the Central Board of Revenue Act 1963, which are constituted under Central Board of Revenue Act, Central Board of Revenue Act 1963. Is that under the GST board means Central Board of Indirect Taxes, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and customs, which are constituted under the Central Board, which are constituted under the Central Board of Revenue Act 1963. Is that which is the board which is constituted under the Central Board of Revenue Act 1963 will be considered as board. Next definition of commissioner. Who is the commissioner? Commissioner means the commissioner of central tax. Commissioner means the commissioner of central tax, and it is also includes the principal commissioner of central tax. It is also include the principal commissioner of central tax, who is appointed under section 3, and it is also include the commissioner of integrated tax, who is appointed under the integrated goods and service tax act. Is that the commissioner means the commissioner of central tax, the commissioner of CGST tax, the commissioner of central tax, and it is also include the principal commissioner of central tax, who is appointed under section 3. It is also include the principal commissioner of central tax, who is appointed under section 3, and it is also include the commissioner of IGST act, the commissioner who is appointed under the IGST act. So this is the definition of commissioner. Commissioner means commissioner of central tax, principal commissioner of central tax, and commissioner of IGST, the commissioner who is appointed under the IGST act. Revisional authority. What is the meaning of revisional authority? Revisional authority means the authority. What is the meaning of revisional authority? Revisional authority means an authority which is appointed or authorized for the revision of decision or order as referred in section 108. Revisional authority means the authority which is appointed and which is authorized for the revision of decision, for the revision of decision, or for the revision of an order as referred to in section 108, as referred to in section 108. So this is the definition of revisional authority. Now, in our previous slides, we have understand some important definitions which are relating to such concept, which are relating to such concept. Now, we will discuss some other important and relevant definition, relevant provisions and sections which are relating to such concept, so that we can easily we can discuss or we can understand such a concept properly. Number one, appeal to appellant authority. Appeal to the appellant authority. Section 107. Section 107, appeal to appellant authority. If there is any person who is aggrieved by any decision or by any order, is that if there is any order or there is any decision has been issued, but such person is not such person is not agree with such decision or with such order, the order which is passed the order which is passed under the CGST Act, the order which is passed under the CGST Act, UTGST Act, SGST Act, or by any adjudication authority. By any adjudication authority. Then such person has an option. Then such person has an option that he can pass an appeal to the appellate tribunal. Then he has an option that he can pass an appeal to the appellate tribunal. But such appeal is required to be filed. The application for such appeal is required to be made within the reasonable time period and according to the prescribed form. So now we will discuss such concept means section 107 in the detailed form. In the detailed form, and now we will understand how we can file an appeal, how we can file an appeal to the appellate tribunal, to the appellate tribunal. Number one. Number one, appeal to appellate tribunal by the aggrieved party. If there is any party which is aggrieved, then it will file an application to the appellant authority. Then it will file an application to the appellant authority. Order appealable to appellant authority. Order which is appealable to the appellant authority. An appeal against any decision or any order which is passed by any adjudication authority under the CGST Act, under the SGST Act, under the UTGST Act lie before the AA. It is lies before the appellant authority. It is important to note that it is only the aggrieved party who can file the appeal. Is that in this case, if there is any decision, there is any order which is passed by the adjudication authority under CGST Act, under UTGST Act, under SGST Act, or under the any act, any such act, under the any act, and if the person is aggrieved means he is not satisfied with such order, he is not satisfied with such order, then to the he can file an appeal to the AA. He can file an to the appellant authority. He can file an appeal to the appellant authority. But it is important to note that it is made by only the aggrieved party, the party which is not satisfied, then he can make an application for the appeal. Also, appeal must be against a decision or the order which is passed under this act. Means such appeal shall be made by the aggrieved party, and such application or such appeal is to be made against the decision or against the order which is passed under this act, against the order or against the decision which is passed under this act. So if any of the party, if the person who is aggrieved by the order of decision or by the order of by any order which is issued by the which is issued or which is passed by the adjudication authority under the CGST Act, UTGST Act or SGST Act, then he may make an application for the appeal. He can make an application for an appeal in against to the decision or order. Time limit for filing the appeal. What is the time limit for filing the appeal? A person who is aggrieved by any decision, by any order of an adjudication authority, can file an appeal to the AA, to the adjudication authority, within the period of 3 months from the date of commencement of such decision or order. Is that if there is any person who is not satisfied with the decision and with the order of an adjudication authority, with the decision of adjudication authority, then such such aggrieved person can make an application or make an appeal. He can file an appeal to the AA within the period of 3 months, within the period of 3 months from the date of communication of such decision or order. He can make an appeal, he can file an appeal within the period of 3 months from the date of commencement of such decision or order. From the date of commencement of such order and decision. The AA can conduct the delay. The AA can conduct a delay in filing of appeal by 1 month if it is satisfied that there are sufficient cause for such delay. Is that if the appeal is not filed by the person within the period of 3 months, then he will explain his reason to the AA, to the AA. If the AA is satisfied that this is the sufficient cause of such delay, then he can extend the period by the 1 month. Means now the person can file an appeal within the period of 3 months. The if the if the AA is satisfying that the reason which is given by him in the respect of such delay is a sufficient reason, then he can extend the period of 1 month for the filing of such appeal. Normally, normally the the appeal is required to be filed within the period of 3 months from the date of commencement of such order or decision. From the date of commencement of such order or decision, the appeal is required to be filed within the period of 3 months. Now we will discuss it by the way of explanation. Now we will discuss it by the way of explanation. The adjudication authority issued the adjudication order. The adjudication authority issued the adjudication order on 23rd September. On the 23rd September, and the same is communicated to the taxpayer on 28th September. It is communicated to the taxpayer on 28th September. The relevant date for computing the period is 3 months. The relevant date for computing the period of 3 months for filing the appeal to AA is 28th September, because it will be commenced from the 28th September. It will be communicated, it is communicated to the taxpayer on 28th September. So the relevant date for computing the period of 3 months is 28th September. So the relevant date is 28th September, not 23rd September. Now we will calculate 3 months from 28th September. Now we will calculate 3 months from the 28th September, not from the 23rd September. So on the basis of such example, we have understand which date is relevant to calculate the limitation or to calculate the time period of appeal. Form for appeal to AA by the aggrieved party. Now we will discuss the form of appeal which is required to be filed by the aggrieved party or by the taxpayer when he want to file an appeal. When he want to file an appeal. The appeal to the AA shall be filed in form APL01. If there is any person who is aggrieved by the decision of order or by any decision, then he may file an appeal to the AA within the period of 3 months from the date of commencement of such order or decision. And the appeal to the AA shall be filed in the form GST APL01. GST APL01. Such form shall be submitted electronically, means such form can be submitted electronically or otherwise as may be notified by the commissioner, and a provisional acknowledgement must be issued. Provisional acknowledgement shall be issued to the appellant immediately. Such appeal is filed in form GST GST APL01, and it will be filed either electronically or otherwise as may be notified by the commissioner, and a provisional acknowledgement shall be issued to the appellant immediately. A certified copy of the decision, a certified copy of the order appealed against shall be submitted within the 7 days of filing the appeal. Is that a certified copy of decision, a certified copy of order against which the appeal is made or the appeal is filed should be submitted. It should be submitted within the period of 7 days. It should be submitted within the period of 7 days from the date of filing of such appeal. And thereafter, he will receive the final acknowledgement. After the submission of such decision or order, he will receive the final acknowledgement. The final acknowledgement shall be received by him. Then after date of filing appeal, date of the filing of appeal. What will be the date of filing of appeal? If the certified copy of the decision or the certified copy of the order is submitted within the 7 days from the date of filing of appeal in GST APL01, if the certified copy of the order or the certified copy of the decision is submitted within the period of 7 days, from the date of filing of an appeal in form GST APL01, then the date of filing of appeal shall be the date of issuance of provisional acknowledgement. In this case, the the certified copy of order or the certified copy of the decision is submitted within the period of 7 days, within the period of 7 days from the date of filing of appeal, within the period of 7 days from the date of filing of appeal in form GST APL01, then the date of filing of appeal shall be the date when the application acknowledgement is issued. When the acknowledgement, when the provisional acknowledgement is issued. If the said copy is submitted after 7 days, if the said copy means the certified copy of decision or the certified copy of order is submitted after the 7 days, then the date of filing of appeal shall be the date of the submission of such copy. Then the date of filing of appeal shall be the date when the certified copy of decision or the certified copy of the order is submitted. For the example, the Mr. Ram filed an application or make an application for the appeal on 1st January. On the 1st January, and he has received a provisional acknowledgement. He has submitted certified copy of order or the decision within the period of 7 days. Mean on 5th day of January he has submitted it. He has submitted such order and he has received final acknowledgement. Then the date of filing the appeal will be 1st January because he has submitted such order, such a certified copy of order or such certified copy of decision within the 7 days. So the date of filing appeal is 1st January. If he has submitted such order on 9th day of January, means after the 7 days, then he will receive the final acknowledgement on 9th day of January. Then the date of filing of appeal will be the date when such a order or certified copy of such decision is submitted. Means in the second case, the date of filing the appeal will be 9th January. 9th January. The appeal shall be treated as filed only when final acknowledgement is issued. The appeal shall be submitted or it shall be treated as filed only when the final acknowledgement is issued. The final acknowledgement will be issued when you have submitted the certified copy of decision or certified copy of order. So it is treated that the application or the appeal is filed when the final acknowledgement is issued. When the final acknowledgement is issued. Example. Now we will discuss it by the way of example. The appeal is filed and provisional acknowledgement issue on 10th September. When we will file the appeal, then we will receive the provisional acknowledgement, and as per the example, the provisional application is received on 10th September. On the 10th September, the taxpayer submit the certified copy of order sought to be appealed against on 15th September. Means within 7 days the order is submitted. The certified copy of order is submitted by the taxpayer. Then the date of filing the appeal is 10th September, the date on which provisional acknowledgement received. If it is submitted by him, if the certified copy of order is submitted by him after 7 days, then the date on which such order has been submitted will be considered the date of appeal. Will be considered the date of appeal. Mandatory pre-deposit for filing appeal. Mandatory pre-deposit for filing appeal is that before filing the appeal, there is a requirement to make the pre-deposit. To make the pre-deposit, which is mandatory. No appeal can be filed before the AA unless a specific amount of pre-deposit made by the appellant. No appeal can be filed. No appeal can be filed before the AA unless the specific amount is pre-deposited by the applicant. Means means when before filing the appeal, or the appeal will be start only when the amount, the pre-deposit amount which is mentioned or which is specified by the AA will be required to be deposited by the appellant. Means such person will deposit such amount, then after the appeal will be start. Now we will discuss point B. In point A, we have discussed appeal means application for appeal is filed by the aggrieved party, by the taxpayer. Now we will discuss application before the AA by the department. Now the application for the appeal is filed by the department, not by the aggrieved party. We have already discussed in previous point. Now we will discuss the application before the AA by the department. At time, the department itself may not agree with the decision and with the order which is issued by or which is passed by the adjudication authority. Sometimes the department itself does not agree with the decision and with the order which is issued by the adjudication authority. There are some cases in which the department is not agree. The department may not agree with the decision or with the order which is issued by the adjudication authority, Section 107 subsection 2 section 107 subsection 2 provides that Section 107 subsection 2 provides that in such case, the can department can also file an appeal before the AA, which is referred as review application. Which is referred as a review application is that if the department is not satisfied with the decision or with the order which is passed by the adjudication authority, then the department can make an application and he can file the appeal. And the department can file the appeal before the AA. Before the AA, the department can file an appeal if such a department is not agree with the decision and with the order of adjudication authority. Order against which the application can be filed before AA. Order against which the application can be filed before the AA. The commissioner may, on his own motion, the commissioner may on the basis of on the basis of his own motion on upon the basis of request or on the basis of request from the CGST commission, from the SGST or from the UTGST commissioner. He will examine the record of any proceeding in which the adjudicating authority has passed any decision, any order under the CGST Act, under the SGST Act or UTGST Act, to satisfy himself about the legality or priority of such a decision or order. Order against which the application can be filed before the AA. The commissioner may, on his own intention, on his own motion, or on the basis of request, which is made by the SGST commissioner or UTGST commissioner. He will examine he will examine the records of any proceeding. He will examine the record of any of the proceeding in which any of the proceeding in which an adjudication authority has passed any decision or order under the CGST Act or SGST Act or UTGST Act, to satisfy himself about the legality or priority of the decision or order. Means the commissioner is also understand, and for the understanding purpose he will examine all the records and all the documents in the respect of which such decision or such order passed by the such adjudication authority. Time limit for filing the application. What will be the time limit for filing the application by the department? Means in how many months the department can file an appeal. The commissioner may, by order, direct any officer subordinate to him to apply to the AA within the period of 6 months from the date of communication of the decision or order for the determination of such point arising out of said decision or said order as may be specified by him. The commissioner may, by an order, direct the any of your direct any officer direct the any officer subordinate to him to to apply to apply for the appeal to the AA within the period of 6 months, within the period of 6 months from the date of communication of the decision, within the period of 6 months from the date of communication of the decision or order for the determination of such point, for the determination of such point arising out of the said decision, arising out of the said decision order as may be specified by him. Is that is that the application can be filed by the appeal the application can be filed by the department within the period of 6 months. The appeal can be filed by the department within the period of 6 months, within the period of 6 months from the date of within the period of 6 months from the date of commencement, from the date of communication, from the date of communication of decision oblique order for the determination of that point arising out of the said decision, or the order as may be prescribed by him. The AA can the AA can condone the delay in filing the appeal by 1 month. Is that the AA can provide the relief of 1 month, or he can accept the delay of the period of 1 month only only if if AA is satisfied that there was sufficient cause for such delay. If example, the adjudication authority passed an order on 23rd January. The adjudication authority passed the order by 23rd January, communicated same day to the commissioner. The commissioner direct his subordinate officer to file a review application with the AA till 23rd June. 12 till 23rd June means they can file the appeal. The department can file the appeal within the period of 6 months from the date of communication. The date of communication is 23rd January. So the 6 months from 23rd January is 23rd July, means they can file the appeal up to 23rd July, and the commissioner direct his subordinate to file the appeal, to file the revision application with the AA till 23rd June. However, the application could be filed only on 3rd July. The application is filed on 3rd July. The AA can the AA can condone the delay if filing of appeal up to 23rd July, up to 1 month. If it is satisfied that there if satisfied that there was sufficient cause for such delay, there was sufficient cause of such delay means he can extend it 1 month if there is the sufficient cause for such delay. Form for application. What will be the form will be submitted by the department to make the application for an appeal. The application shall be made in form. The application shall be made in form GST APL 03. The application shall be made in GST APL 03 either electronically or otherwise as may be notified by the commissioner. Means such application can be filed electronically or by the any other mode as may be notified by the commissioner. As notified by the commissioner. Application to be treated as appeal. Application to be treated as appeal. Such application shall be dealt with by the AA as if it were an appeal made. If it were an appeal which is made against the decision and the direction of adjudication authority. Such application which is filed in GST APL 03 shall be dealt with by the AA as it is it as it were an appeal which is made against the decision or against the order. of the adjudication authority. There is no requirement of making of pre-deposit in the case of departmental appeal. If there is any appeal which is filed by the department, so there is no any clause or there is no any requirement to make the payment of pre-deposit. In the case of if there is any appeal by the taxpayer, then there is a requirement of pre-deposit. But if there is any application for appeal is filed by the department, then to there is no any requirement of any pre-deposit. Appeal, point number C, appeal process followed by AA. Appeal process followed by the AA. Followed by the AA. Duties of the AA. Duties of the AA. The AA has to follow the principle of natural justice. Duties of the AA. The AA has to follow the principles of nature justice, such as hearing the appellant, appellant, allowing reasonable adjournments not more than 3 months, not more than 3 times, permitting additional ground of appeal if found reasonable, etc. Is that the AA has to follow the principle of nature justice, and and he will hear the appellant, and he is allowing reasonable adjournment, but it shall not be more than 3. He will permit the additional ground of appeal if it is reasonable, etc. These are the duties of AA. Orders of the AA. Orders of the AA. The AA can make further inquiry and pass it order. The AA can make the further inquiries and he can pass its order, which may confirm, modify, and annual annul the decision and order appealed against. The AA can make the further inquiry or he can pass its order which may confirm, which may modify, or which may annul the decision order which is appealed against. However, the AA cannot refer the case back to the adjudication authority that passed the said order or decision. However, the AA cannot refer the case back to the adjudication authority that passed such order or that passed such decision. The AA can also increase the rigors of the order which is appealed against by enhancing the fees or penalty or the amount of fine in the lien of confiscation and confiscation goods of greater value, or it can reducing the amount of refund or ITC. But this can only be done by the AA have given to the appellant a reasonable opportunity to being heard against the proposed order. Is that if the AA want to increase the amount of penalty, amount of fine, amount of any fees, or the AA wants to decrease or reduce the amount of ITC, then it can do so, but before increasing, before increasing or decreasing the these any particular, the AA will give the opportunity to being heard to the taxpayer in the respect of such an order, and before giving opportunity to being heard. If AA is of the opinion that if AA is of the opinion that any time if the AA is in opinion that any tax has not been paid, if AA is in the opinion that the tax has not been paid but short paid, or there is any erroneous refund, or where ITC has been wrongly availed or wrongly utilized, no order requiring the appellant to pay such tax or ITC shall be passed unless the appellant is going notice to show cause against the proposed order and the order is passed within the time limit which are specified under section 73 and section 74. Is that during the during the uh, during the discussion or during the appeal, AA is in opinion that there is any amount of tax which is not paid by the taxpayer or which is paid but short paid. There is some erroneously refund means the refund are taken by the assessee or taken by the taxpayer erroneously, or the ITC has been availed or wrongly utilized. So in this case, there is a requirement to pay the amount of tax or to pay the amount of such refund, return back the refund, or reverse the amount of ITC. So before that, the AA will pass a show cause notice. The AA will pass a show cause notice against such order, and and AA will ask or AA will request him or requiring to the taxpayer to show the cause to show the cause why you are not liable to show the cause why you are not liable to pay such amount to pay such amount with the amount of penalty with the amount of penalty, the amount which is mentioned in such a show cause notice, and such order such order is required to be made such order is required to be made or it is required to be passed within the time limit which is specified in section 73 or in section 74, means 3 year or 5 year. Such order will be made within the period of 3 year in the case of when there is no fraud, and within 5 year when there is fraud. The order in appeal shall be speaking order. The order in appeal shall be a speaking order, is that it shall state the point for the determination, the decision thereon, and the reason for the decision. The order in the appeal should be a speaking order. Is that shall state the points. It shall state the points for the determination, the decision thereon, and the reason for the decision. The law provides an advisory time. The law provides an advisory time for the period of 1 month from the date of filing of an appeal for the AA to decide the appeal. The law provides an advisory time. The law provides an advisory time limit of 1 year of the 1 year from the date of filing of such appeal for the AA to decide the appeal. The period of stay ordered by any court or by any tribunal shall be excluded when we compute the period of 1 year. If there is any stay, if there is any stay which is ordered by the court or which is ordered by the tribunal, then the such stay period will be excluded. The stay period will be excluded when we compute the period of 1 year. When we compute the period of 1 year, then the period of stay will be excluded. And normally the AA has the time of 1 year to decide the appeal. Now we will discuss it by the way of example. The Adjudication Authority passed an order on 23rd January 2020. The order passed by the Adjudication Authority on 23rd January 2020, and it was communicated to the taxpayer on the same day. The taxpayer filed an appeal against the order on 16th February, means within the period of 3 months. The AA should decide the appeal. The AA should decide the appeal within the 1 year, means by the 16th Feb 2021, where it is possible to do so. Means the has the period of 1 year to decide the appeal, to take the decision in the respect of such case. So it can make the decision in the respect of such appeal by the 16th February 2021. On the disposal of appeal, the AA shall communicate the order which is passed by the appellant, respondent, and to the adjudication authority on the disposal of appeal when the order of the appeal is made by the AA. Then on the time of disposal of such appeal, the AA shall communicate. The AA shall communicate the order. The AA shall communicate the order which is passed by it to the appellant, to the appellant, to the respondent, and to the adjudication authority. It will AA will communicate such order. A copy of the order which is passed by the a copy of the order of appeal which is passed by the AA shall also be sent to the judicial commissioner. The copy of the order which is passed by the AA shall also be it shall also be sent to the judicial commissioner or authority which is designated by him. Judicial commissioner or the authority which is designated by him in this behalf, and judicial SGST and UTGST commissioner or authority designed by him in this behalf. Means such order shall be passed to the commissioner, to the authorized person, or means authorized commissioner or judicial SGST or UTGST commissioner who are authorized by him in this behalf, in this behalf. Every order which is passed by the AA shall be the final order. Every order which is passed by the AA, it shall be the final order, and it will be binding on the parties unless the dispute is taken to the higher appellate tribunal. Means the order which is passed by the AA, it is the final order and it will be binding on the parties. It will be binding on all the parties, and it will be the final order. It will be the final order. Appointment of land authority. Any decision, any person who is aggrieved by any decision or order which is passed under the GST law, or an officer directed to appeal against any decision order which is passed under the said order may appeal within the period of 3 months, and 6 months in the case of department, from the date of communication of said order or orders as follows. If there is any person who is aggrieved by the any decision or by any order which is passed under the GST law, or an officer who is directed to appeal against any order or any decision which is passed under the said law. If there is any person, he is not agreed with that, he is not agree he is not satisfied with the decision or with the order which is passed under the GST law, and any officer directed to appeal against any decision any decision or order which is passed under the said law, then such aggrieved person may pass an appeal within the period of 3 months. Such a aggrieved person, he may pass an appeal within the period of 3 months, and the department can make an appeal within the period of 6 months from the date of communication of said order, from the date of communication of such order or such decision, as follows. As follows, if the decision or the order against which the appeal is filed is passed by the additional or the joint commissioner, if the decision and the order against which the appeal is filed, and such order is passed by additional or joint commissioner, is that a order or a decision is passed by the additional commissioner or by the judicial commissioner, and the party is not satisfied, a person is not satisfied with this, with such decision or with such order, then 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 such person can make an application of appeal, means he can file an appeal. Then the appeal shall be made to the commissioner. Means appellant authority will be commissioner. Commissioner appeal means the appeal application is to be made to the commissioner. It is made to the commissioner. if the decision or the order passed against which the appeal is filed, it is passed by the deputy or the assistant commissioner or superintendent. Means if there is any order which is passed by the deputy commissioner, by the assistant commissioner, or by the superintendent, and the person is not aggrieved by the decision, then he can make an appeal. But such appeal is made to the any person who is not below the rank of joint commissioner, who is not below the rank of joint commissioner appeal. So if there is any appeal which is required to be filed in the respect of or in the against the order of additional commissioner or the joint commissioner, then the appeal is required to be filed to the commissioner, to the commissioner. Or if anyone want to file an appeal against the order of deputy and assistant commissioner or superintendent, then the appeal is to be made to the officer who is not below the rank of joint commissioner, who is not below the rank of joint commissioner. So these are the those officers to whom the appeal is required, to appeal form or appeal application is required to be made. So on the basis of